A local real estate agent is going to prison for participating in the Capitol riot.
The COVID vaccine is available for children ages 5 and up. What the government predicts.
And why a UNT professor thinks critical race theory is important, tonight in the Lyceum.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Kayla Holt.
And I'm Hannah Gonzalez. A federal discrimination lawsuit filed by 3 TCU students against the university has moved into the next stage. U.S. District Judge Barbara Lynn issued a series of rulings today. Lynn dismissed all claims against 5 of the 8 defendants, who are current or retired TCU professors and administrators. The university will settle allegations against the other 3 defendants. However, Lynn also ruled the 3 plaintiffs must use their real identities as the lawsuit moves forward. The original lawsuit filed in January of 2020 alleged physical and verbal abuse.
It was a sight that shocked the nation on January 6th. Last year, hundreds of Donald Trump supporters storming the United States Capitol, a riot that ended in death, destruction, and now legal action. More than 600 people have been charged, and one of them is a Frisco woman, Jenna Ryan. ntTV's Kelsey Clark has more on the story. Kelsey?
Thanks, Kayla. Jenna Ryan, a local real estate broker from Frisco, was one of many who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. She pled guilty to parading, demonstrating, and picketing a Capitol building, and she's facing up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $5,000. This Thursday, she was sentenced to 60 days behind bars, along with a $1,000 fine, according to our radio partner, KRLD. Ryan will report to prison sometime after the holidays, potentially around January 3rd, 2022. That's all I have today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kelsey. Just in time for this cooler weather, Starbucks is launching their seasonal holiday coffee drinks. And with them, their beloved holiday cups with fresh new designs. But they're not the only ones with festive cups this season. Dunkin' and Caribou Coffee also released their seasonal cups this week. Dunkin's debuted 4 different designs showcasing tangled lights, a gift bow, candy crumbs, and a snow globe. Caribou Coffee also brought out a trio of holiday cup designs alongside 3 of their classic holiday beverages. They stated the cup's designs feature iconic images and festive patterns. And with the holidays soon approaching, you might want to purchase those gifts sooner than later. The current shortage of truck drivers we're experiencing is threatening to delay millions of package deliveries this holiday season, despite the efforts made by the White House. CNN's Camila Bernal has more.
Being a truck driver will be Ray Stewart's second career.
I am a barber, licensed barber.
The pandemic, the need for truck drivers, and a possible higher income motivated him to enroll in a truck driving academy.
We've definitely seen a major increase.
But despite the increase in future truck drivers, experts say it's just not enough to deliver your food, clothes, and especially now, your holiday gifts. According to the American Trucking Association, the industry is about 80,000 drivers short.
My dad and my old
Trucking company owner Will Cibrian sees it firsthand.
I'm advertising every day. Weeks go by and I don't get a call.
Truck drivers move 71% of the U.S. economy's goods, and the shortage is already impacting many other industries.
If trucking companies stop, America stops. Everything that we consume, the vast majority of things, whether it be cars, clothes, food, even food products, a lot of stuff comes from overseas.
While President Joe Biden directed the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach to move to 24/7 operations, Cibrian believes it will not be enough.
It doesn't matter how long they're open because there's other issues that are preventing us from picking up: driver shortages and equipment shortages.
Creating a snowball effect.
If you're going to do your holiday shopping, do it now because things are going to run out. It's going to be scarce.
Meanwhile, Stewart hopes to be behind the wheel by the end of the year. But he and others expect the shortage to remain for years to come, with the real possibility of disappointment this holiday season.
Hopefully I can be on the road and actually making the money.
In Los Angeles, I'm Camila Bernal.
With the UNT women's basketball season opener around the corner, tonight could display what the team is made of as they face a familiar foe. Our sports anchor Zach Fox is live at the UNT Super Pit with more. Zach?
That's right, Kayla. It's the Battle of Denton, UNT against Texas Women's University. Now, these two are just 2 miles apart from each other on the map, but they have a relationship that's much closer than many have anticipated. ntTV's Blaine Tatum gives us an exclusive look.
Two hometown teams face off tonight, but it isn't a hometown rivalry.
It's a fun exhibition. I mean, thankfully, we have a great relationship with UNT, and it's always fun to get all of the Denton fans and surrounding area into the pit.
There's a mutual respect between the two teams. Both are looking for a win, but moving on, they want the other to succeed.
When they're not playing us, I'm always cheering for them, and I know the same with them.
I think it's just respect. I think we respect each other, so I feel like it's a really friendly game.
For the players, they're excited to have an event that can bring the whole community together.
I think the crowd is going to be awesome, you know, bringing over their fans. They're right down the road, so you mean like their fans ain't got to drive far. So I feel like, you know, we'll have a lot of little TWU fans, and we should have a lot of North Texas fans.
It's really exciting just because it is Denton and we're right next to each other, and everyone knows UNT, TWU, so I'm stoked to be doing this.
After months of practicing, both teams kick off their seasons next week, and just because they compete tonight, that doesn't mean that Denton can't root for both of them. For ntTV Sports, I'm Blaine Tatum.
Now the two teams faced off in 2019 where UNT won at home very comfortably here at the Super Pit. Now, these two usually do not face each other, but however they did back in the day. In fact, when North Texas was North Texas State University back in 1974 to 1988, UNT led that series 13-6. Now, if you don't know much info about the TW Pioneers basketball, well, let me reiterate. Back in 2016, they were actually in the top 25 in the nation. That's right, they're actually ranked number 23. Now UNT, they're coming off of a fresh 13-7 season last year where they were bounced out in the first round against Old Dominion. So both teams look to use tonight's exhibition game to their advantage as they look ahead to the young season. So tip-off tonight is at 6:30. We'll be excited for the Battle of Denton here at the Super Pit. More sports later on in the newscast, but for now, I'll send it back to you, Hannah and Kayla, back in the studio.
Thanks, Zach. Why critical race theory is important. Live coverage on UNT's Distinguished Scholar Series.
In a neighborhood in Austin built entirely from a printer. More when we return.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
The College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences will be hosting their inaugural Distinguished Scholar Series tonight in the Lyceum. Tonight's lecture will be featuring Assistant Professor of English, Dr. Asia Martinez, who plans to discuss why critical race theory matters.
as an approach to look at things like law and policy within institutions such as education systems or just the legal system, and to look at the way race works in those systems to discriminate against some, but also privilege and help out others.
During her lecture, Dr. Martinez plans to touch on the biggest issues that go with critical race theory, such as demystifying theories and explaining how people from both sides of the argument are misadvised on what critical race theory actually is.
What critical race theory says, which is not what everyone wants to hear, is that until we unmake the racism that this country was founded on, okay, so we have to go all the way back to the beginnings of this country and all the race instituted policy that this country started with in the 1700s in particular. Until we unmake that, then we will never be free from racism as an issue in our country.
Tonight's lecture will begin at 7 p.m. and is free and open to the public. Tonight, UNT kicks off their inaugural speech in their new in-class Distinguished Scholars Series.
That's right, Kayla, and one of our university's own will be speaking tonight live from the University Lyceum. Armando Berry has more. Armando.
Thanks, Kayla and Hannah. I am in the Lyceum at the UNT Union, where the in-class Distinguished Scholar Series will begin its inaugural speech tonight. Our very own Dr. Asia Martinez will be delivering tonight's speech on why critical race theories matter. The event will be going on from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and is open for anyone to attend at no cost. Beside me now is Dr. Anna Hinton, who's a professor at UNT. Dr. Hinton, why is UNT involved with this event?
UNT is involved in this event because we really want to showcase the cutting-edge scholarship that's coming out of the College of Language, Arts, and Social Sciences.
Absolutely. Then how does critical race theory impact our community here at UNT?
We are a minority-serving institution now officially, and also our students, they're really smart, they're really engaged in social justice issues and like I said, socially relevant issues, and this is the kind of conversations that they want to have.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Hinton, thank you for your time. That's all I have here at the Lyceum. Let's send it back to Kayla and Hannah in the studio.
Thanks, Armando. There's still a lot of questions in the air about the COVID vaccines for children. While there isn't enough time to get them for Thanksgiving or Hanukkah, it's possible that children may be protected by Christmas, Kwanzaa, and even New Year's. CNN's Mandy Gaither has more on the story.
You can take off your mask without wearing it.
Across the U.S., kids ages 5 to 11 rolling up their sleeves for a COVID-19 vaccine.
Now I know my body is strong enough because I have the shot now.
Children won't be considered fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after their second Pfizer dose. Since each dose must be at least 21 days apart, parents eyeing protection by Christmas and Kwanzaa have a deadline of November 19th to get a first dose and December 10th for the second dose.
Parents should consult with their pediatricians, consult with their family physicians, consult with their pharmacists, and they'll be able to know exactly where to get this particular vaccine for their children from 5 to 11.
Beginning November 8th, the White House says the pediatric vaccine program will be fully up and running. By the end of the week, officials say parents can also check where vaccines are available in their area by logging on to vaccines.gov. Local health departments will also launch thousands of community-based clinics.
So many of us have been worried about what happens as the weather gets cold, as everyone goes indoors, as those windows start getting shut in schools and ventilation gets worse. Having the kids vaccinated helps to stop that.
Health experts say getting kids vaccinated is key to staving off a potential winter surge and to having a safe holiday season. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Good job.
Hannah, the weather has been so gloomy and cold, but I'm just ready for the weekend.
I know, Kayla. Let's hand it over to Lexi Flores to see what we can know about this weekend's forecast.
Thanks, ladies. Now I know some have really been looking forward to these cooler temperatures and others not so much. It is going to warm up a little bit throughout the weekend, but I'll get back to that in just a moment. Let's take a look at our North Texas area. We all seem to be sitting in the general 50s. We have Dallas at 59 degrees and out in Fort Worth a little bit cooler at 56 degrees. Taking a look across the state of Texas, everyone seems to be experiencing cooler temperatures across the state. It's a little bit cooler down in Houston at 57 degrees and oddly enough a little bit warmer out in Amarillo at 64 and El Paso at 65. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we are expected to see sunnier days up ahead, which is going to bring in some warmer temperatures into those upper 60s and even going into the 70s. We do see a 30% chance of rain coming up next Wednesday, but that rain is not supposed to stick around as it's going to clear up the following day. So we are seeing a little bit warmer temperatures, not super cold throughout the weekend. Now that's all I have for weather tonight. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Lexi. Dogs are officially not just a man's best friend, but everyone's best friend. And as it turns out, they are great for more than just chasing squirrels. Check it out.
There's nothing better than coming home to a furry friend after a long, stressful day. In fact, research has found that there are mental and physical health benefits that result from interacting with animals. Simply just petting animals can lower anxiety, reduce loneliness, increase mental stimulation, lower blood pressure, and decrease overall physical pain. Because pet-assisted therapy has been proven to work wonders, organizations like PetSmart Charities offer their own group of therapy dogs to service people in need of emotional support. Cancer survivor Shalita Rodney shares how having her dog improved her life.
When I'm holding him, I just feel so much at peace. I can feel his energy, and it really helps my energy and helps me to have a better day.
The use of therapy dogs have become so popular, here at the University of North Texas, we have our very own therapy pup named Buddy. Buddy makes a star appearance every Wednesday from 1 to 2 at the Rec Center. Buddy and therapy dogs everywhere are living proof that sometimes the only prescription you need is a wagging tail and a wet nose to brighten your day.
How cute is that?
Kayla, I didn't even know they offered that.
Yeah, Buddy, he's great. He's a poodle. He's standard. He's huge. He's so friendly, though.
Perfect. Well, coming up next, a message from the UNT Police Department.
And big updates surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. Stay with us.
Every child deserves a future. Every last child. That's why we do whatever it takes to ensure children grow up healthy, learning, and safe. Right here in the U.S. and around the world, just as we have for nearly 100 years. When it comes to children, we know that even the smallest act can make a big difference. By changing children's lives now, we're changing the course of their futures and ours. Join us. Every child deserves a future. Every last child. That's why we do whatever it takes to ensure children grow up healthy, learning, and safe. Right here in the U.S. and around the world, just as we have for nearly 100 years. When it comes to children, we know that even the smallest act can make a big difference. By changing children's lives now, we're changing the course of their futures and ours. Join us.
I know you've heard of tiny homes and manufactured homes, but what about a 3D printed house? Home builder Leonard is teaming up with a construction firm that specializes in 3D printed structures to build the world's largest neighborhood of printed homes in Austin, Texas. The process will go like this. A company called Icon will set up a 46-foot wide robotic printers to pour the frames of the houses using a concrete mix. Each house will take about a week to print. Then, Leonard will finish the houses off with roofs, windows, and doors. Advocates say that this is the fastest, cheapest, and most environmentally sound method. However, critics warn that safety concerns could surface.
Getting to know your neighbors, whether they live in a real house or a 3D one, is always a good thing. And today, UNT students got a chance to know their neighbors, UNT police officers. It all happened on the South Lawn, where officers provided information on a variety of topics, sharing information about safety procedures, both on and off campus. The event let students and officers get to know each other in a friendly and open environment.
Just to encourage our officers to meet members of the community and just to build those relationships. I think since 1950. I think the biggest thing is that way the students are more comfortable with us, so if they ever need us for any reason, they feel more comfortable coming and contacting us.
So if you need to contact UNT Police for any reason, the number is 940-565-3000. And their email is simple, unt.police@unt.edu. One of the things I'm really glad, I want to get back to live performances.
Me too, Kayla. And our reporter, Armando Mary, caught up with a local band on the challenges they face with the COVID-19 pandemic.
The emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic forced Remain the band to make tough decisions for their upcoming album that was originally set to release in 2020.
I thought about going ahead and releasing the music and not having a big album release show. But a lot of the places we were wanting to pitch to, they were all just scared for their life because they're like, we have no idea. We're not making any money, everything's shut. So everything and anything we did was just zilch for a year.
While some may see a band as a nice hobby, Remain has impacted its members deeper than just the music.
It's given me a lot of confidence. I may not have always been the most, I guess, like outspoken person, but being on a stage and performing in front of people, you know, especially as the drummer, like you kind of stick out the most. So if you mess up, people are going to hear that. So just kind of like helping me be a little more bold, be a little bit more confident in the things that I do.
Since businesses have opened back up, the band has enjoyed getting back in rhythm performing shows for live audiences.
I was in a few other projects during COVID, and we did a lot of live stream gigs, and we would sometimes do cover gigs like outdoors and stuff, but there's nothing like being in front of a crowd.
With ntTV News, I'm Armando Berry.
Well, that's something I definitely want to check out.
Me too, Kayla. Let's check back in with sports anchor Zach Fox, who's still live at the Super Pit.
Thanks, ladies. Did the Atlanta Braves World Series title really just predict a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl? Well, I'll give you details on how that's possible when we return from the Super Pit.
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
Oh hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
The last time the Atlanta Braves won the World Series was back in 1995. The last time the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl was 1995. Now, when the Braves won in 95, the Cowboys, that night that the Braves won, the Cowboys were sitting at 6-1 under the season, under their second year, a brand new head coach, Barry Switzer. This year, 2021, the night the Braves won, The Cowboys are sitting at 6-1 and are currently under their second-year head coach, Mike McCarthy. You can't plan it any better. What a coincidence, right? Well, something new that the Cowboys will be doing this Sunday against the Denver Broncos as they host the NFL Salute to Service game, as they do actually have a red stripe on the helmet. That'll accompany the usual white and blue stripe on the middle of the helmet. Now, the subtle change is meant to honor the U.S. military and the country's National Medal of Honor recipients. It's also a throwback to the 1976 season when the Cowboys sported the look to commemorate the the United States bicentennial. The red stripes on the helmet provides a beautiful ribbon to wrap around to salute those who currently serve our country's military and those before them. And we'll share those memories, and the Cowboys and Broncos will kick off Sunday at noon.
Just testing it. Oh, look at the Cowboys, a little trickery. Wilson's going back to Prescott.
The puppet master behind some of the Dallas Cowboys star plays of the game, Kellen Moore, we've grown to know and love as Offensive Player of the Year. His creativity with the X's and O's stood out to not only to the NFL and the Cowboys fan base, but now potentially to TCU, who is now in search for their next head coach after parting ways with former head coach Gary Patterson in the midst of his 21st season. Now, TCU Athletic Director Jeremiah Donati said TCU's search will start with someone who is currently a head coach and one who understands the changing climate of college football as name, image, and likeness. Now, Kellen Moore owns the NCAA record for wins as a starting quarterback, but despite his status as a rising star in the coaching game, he is yet to be a head coach, which could deter him from the Horned Frogs job. So that's all for sports from the Super Pit as we look ahead to UNT and the Pioneers take on each other tonight. It should be a great game. As you can see the atmosphere behind me. I think I'm going to sit down with them and potentially have some popcorn, but ladies, I'll send it back up to you.
Wow, I think we should go meet up with Zach after the show.
Yeah, I know popcorn sounds pretty good.
Okay, well, thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.